According to the 3 witnesses who admitted to being in the house, they had all decided to go for a late-night swim after a few drinks. One by one, they left the pool until Brian was alone. A short while later, one of them returned to find him at the bottom of the swimming pool. An ambulance was called, but he was pronounced dead on arrival at hospital. The autopsy revealed non-lethal but significant quantities of alcohol and prescription drugs, and gave the cause of death as drowning. Tony believes the fabric of the buildings and the garden may retain echoes of Brian's tragic death. As he prepares to draw his own conclusions, Pat has arrived to see firsthand what emerges.
Of course, half of me didn't want to go, but I've managed to shut the emotional side off, because you can't be emotional when you're dealing with these sort of things. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do it. It was very hard, but you have to do these things.
Tony decides he wants to start his investigation at the pool where Brian was found. Now that he's finally here, will he be able to relive the events of that fateful night?
Being here, it's interesting really, because when I first read for you, I actually picked up a number of things about Brian.
Yes.
But funny enough, the swimming pool didn't actually figure.
It didn't, no.
In what I picked up for you at all. And that's, for me, kind of interesting, because I now know that the swimming pool was involved, but I kind of just trying to get my own mind around it, why when I saw something so very, very clearly, the pool never came up at all. And
well, I found that very, very interesting and very revealing, I think, in some ways. That maybe, contrary to opinion, the pool didn't play such a great part in Brian's passing as most people think. One of
the things that I found out through the reading really was Brian's passing had something more to do with foul play than just accident. And although I'm very conscious, I have to be very careful what I tell people, because I don't want to give you more pain, you see.
No,
whether in fact you've managed to bury your demons and you're moving on with your life. But
no.
I do feel that, and I think that really maybe the swimming pool is almost part of like some kind of camouflage. It's almost like some kind of ploy by someone else to kind of say this is an accident. Brian, would have fallen asleep or maybe had too much to drink or something and been in the pool.
Yes.
And I don't really get that.
Well,
and being here now, I'm still not completely convinced at all. The image that I get when I'm standing here, it's almost, if you imagine camouflage.
Yes, I do.
It's camouflage. That's what I see. It's pure camouflage, the water. Ultimately, this is all about a betrayal, and it's a betrayal, and it's very much to do with finances, money, finances, material possession, and that kind of thing. Okay, let's walk a little more if we can.
Okay.
Can we maybe possibly wander around here and get like another view
up the top, yeah.
of the pool from up here? It's very interesting because now I'm here, it shifts for me completely. Because I tell you now, if there was any thought in my mind of one person being involved in this, I now know that's not the case, because I get a sense of there's definitely at least 2 people helping to lower Brian back into the water. So what I feel here is even though he's found in water, he must have, even if he had been swimming prior, got out of the water, then been placed back into the water. That's what I think.
Tony has decided there's more to Brian's death than events at the pool. His next step is to analyze the house itself. Did its walls witness a terrible crime on that fateful night?
Anesthetized or asked to breathe something in.
Medium Tony Stockwell is working with Pat Andrews, one-time partner of Rolling Stones guitarist Brian Jones, to shed new light on his mysterious death 35 years ago. After visiting the swimming pool where his body was found, He's convinced that the nearby house is in fact the main crime scene. This is where he must now go, and he's been given rare access to conduct a solo psychic analysis of the building. Can he use this opportunity to explain what happened?
Now, as I've actually come inside the house, obviously the house that Brian Jones had lived in, it's a very different vibe in here than it is possibly outside, and I do have a strong sense here that however Brian passed, I know that it has something to do with this house, but being inside the house. I feel a strong sense of two people being involved in the way that he passes, but I also feel there's two other people that are already outside looking on. At this point really I'm just going to take a moment out, I'm just going to take a seat here and just see if I can get a real sense of exactly what's happening here, what's happened. I think he's kind of like come inside the house because he's been called in. There is a big man and a smaller man. I feel that these two people have in some way confronted him, and I get the sense that he's been somehow anaesthetized or asked to breathe something in on either like a rag or a handkerchief or something here. And as he's been desensitized there's a sense of either like a puncture wound or like an injection there that has in some way immobilized him. So it could be like an injection of medication or something possibly that couldn't be easily detected after the event. And I then feel that as he was slipping into a state of unconsciousness, he's then led from the house or carried from the house and then placed back there into the pool, but placed back into the pool almost face down. And so his last moments are in the water, but the people that do this are paid people, almost like not necessarily henchmen, but these are paid people to do a job for money. And I feel as they take him and take his life there, is something that seemed to have been, as they walked away, they believed there to be a great success, that they'd silenced him and completed their mission. But I do need to talk about the significance of 4 in a group and 4 people there connecting as either driver and lookout and attacker. That's what I feel.